Students, this is your lesson number 10, Individual Freedom by Jawaharlal Nehru. So, introduction. Jawaharlal Nehru was not only the aristocrat who entered politics and joined the struggle for independence in India. There were also others who came from similar background of secure family roots, extravagance and style, and who courted imprisonment, flirted with hardship, and enjoyed the luxury of sacrifice. If Nehru was a romantic, a politician who was more a poet than a schemer, a revolutionary who loved to philosophy more than to operate, he was not the only one of that kind in India. A whole lot of Indian politicians, especially of the left wing variety, were romantic revolutionaries who had an idealist view of things and their relation in India, and who spend their lives in building, destroying, and rebuilding their theoretical model of the enemy whom they would fight. If Nehruji was an intellectual dilettante existing at several planes and levels, so were most of the leftist intellectuals in India. So, the summary of the lesson, the point is not that Nehruji was all these, but this, in spite of being all these, he was the only socialist who left a deep mark on Indian history, who made the greatest contribution to the process of socialist development of our country. Not that he ushered in socialism in India, not even that he set the country on the path of the socialism from which there can be no turning back. But he set his country in the mainstream of socialist development, made socialism in India a vital force that counts, a factor that any move towards reaction has to reckon with. Socialism, together with democracy, has seeped through the authoritarian structure and the ideology of irrationalism of the Indian society and has reached the broad masses of our people, and no one has played a great as an effective a role in that historic process as Nehruji. To deny that, this is to deny the reality of Indian history. What is important is not how Nehruji lived and what he did in his personal life. You are not judging a medieval prophet or a religious saint, but what is the impact of his action and policy on the course of Indian history. His personal life matters only if it is correlative to his political action, but his discussions on socialism, even when they displayed a striking sense of realism, lacked any framework of a consistent philosophy. He was not a Marxist, though some of his writings and speeches, especially during the 30s, showed some understanding or rather awareness of the Marxian categories. His socialism was more a system of just social order, where the accent was more on the individual and his freedom, and the social order was to be reorganized to allow the individual to maximize his happiness. He would happily subscribe to utilitarianism if that philosophy could make a more comfortable adjustment with the condition of the modern economy. So, regarding the important question answers of this lesson, first is, what is socialism? It is a way of life and scientific remedy to social problems. Then, what has been the result of the alliance of democracy and capitalism? It has made the rich more rich and poor the more poor. Then, which approach does Nehruji think wholly unscientific and unreasonable? Nehruji regards violence and intolerance as unscientific and unreasonable approach. Then, what does the conflict in Hungary represent? The conflict in Hungary represents national struggle for freedom against foreign domination. How can social progress be achieved? It can only be achieved by the efforts of individuals. Which country has the best system of education and health in the world? That is the Russia. Are there contradictions within the framework of communism itself? Yes, there is a contradictions within communism itself. So these are the important question answers from this lesson. Thank you.